你不管好了解。
Hello, good morning, everyone. Please let's give a few minutes for our facilitator to join in, and then we'll begin the class for today. Thank you. Good morning. I hope you all can hear me. Can you all hear me? Make a comment in the group chat if you can hear me, please. Can you hear me? Okay. Good morning. We're waiting for our facilitator to join. Okay, great. We're waiting for our facilitator to join our class, so please let's give her a few minutes to join, and then we'll begin the class. Sorry for keeping you all waiting. But if you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the group chat. Thank you. Hello, sorry to keep you all waiting. We're still trying to get a hold of the facilitator so she can join. Please bear with us. Please have patience. Thank you. Okay, so while we wait, does anyone have any questions so far regarding the program? Anything happening? Please feel free to put in the chat box. Thank you. Yes, Khadija, we are still having the demo day. We're thinking we're thinking end of the month or beginning November, but the exact date would be communicated to you soon, very, very soon. Yes. But we're having one more pre-demo day session for those that missed because some people said they were unavailable, sick, some gave birth. So we want to have just one last pre-demo day first, and then we would communicate to you when the demo day is. I hope that answers your question, but it's very, very soon. It'll be communicated to you very soon. So how did the pre-demo day go for those that participated? Hope it went well. So, Miss Princess, if you've attended the classes 2 times or more, then you would have been able to pitch. And then if you pitched, then you can go on. And if you were selected, only 16 people, I know 18 people, sorry, will be selected for demo day. So if you've pitched, if you attended the class more than twice and you've pitched, then we'll select the people up to 18 people, and then they would be going forward with the demo day and the chance of winning the final amount.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Fantastic. I'm joining from my phone. I hope I'm not appearing upside down. Okay,
No,
hello.
no, no,
Maybe I
you're
should
fine.
myself in the chat before I start.
Yes, please.
All right, I'll mute myself and do that. Okay.
Okay, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Today we'll begin our class for career advancement and leadership. So please, when you're ready, you can start the class. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you for that. So my name is Winifred Alobo Agogo. I'm a lawyer by profession. And over the years, I've become a coach of some sort on career and business leadership strategies for women. Today, I'm just going to take us through, I don't know how many minutes allocated to me. Can the co-host tell me so I know how to tailor my interaction?
Okay, you have an hour 30 minutes.
An hour, 30 minutes, fantastic. How many people are in this class? 26, okay. Are all my participants Nigerians or do we have people from outside of Nigeria?
They're all Nigerians, based in Abuja. Yes.
Fantastic, because I wanted to know the types of examples I would use to communicate. So if you just give me 2 minutes, can I share my slides to the group? Because I'm joining on my phone. Can I share my slides or share afterwards? What do you prefer?
You can share it in the group chats and then you can share it afterwards as well.
Okay, so just give me a few minutes to share it to my phone. Yeah. Hello? Hello?
Yes. Hello.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
So is it sharing the presentation now?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Sorry about that.
That's fine. Take your time.
Okay, so the title of my presentation is Business and Career Leadership Strategies for Women. Like I said, my name is Winifred Alobo Agogo. I'm a lawyer by profession. I've had the privilege of working in other spaces like communication strategy, business development, gender mainstreaming, and all sorts of secretarial support for businesses by virtue of my profession. I was called to the Nigerian bar in 2005. So that means I've been practicing law for about 18 years now. And I'm so happy with how God has helped me, how people have supported me. And now I'm giving back by sharing some of these insights. Okay, I hope you can hear me clearly because I'm going to start out now. So some feedback. Hello.
Sorry, my network was bad. We can hear you loud and clear. You can go ahead.
Okay, so did you hear my introduction?
Yes, yes, I did. We all did.
Okay, fantastic. So welcome all again, and I believe I'm talking to business women, or are there some people that are more career inclined than entrepreneurial in the room?
They're mainly businesswomen. They all own their businesses. So yes, they're all businesswomen.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. I'm not sure what I've touched on. Okay, by way of outline, I'll be taking us through an introduction. We'll start by defining what career or business success means to you. Then we'll move on to saying, what is a strategy and why do you need one? Why do I need one? Then we'll do some more picking apart as to what strategic planning is and why it is beneficial to businesses. Well, with the information you get might seem overwhelming or a bit far out or for some people, but it's not. So we'll go step by step on how you can get there. Then I'll provide a summary at the end. Okay. Now I've moved on to the introduction slide. No one stumbles onto success, even if it appears that way. At the point where the pieces come together, there were habits, there were sacrifices, there were people and places that contributed to this process. Okay, let me use Tony Elumelu as an example, the CEO of UBA and other chains of businesses. He's diversified into power. Banking and finance was his first start. Now he's into power, hospitality, and all other kinds of businesses that we might not even be aware of. It would appear to someone who sees Tony on Instagram, on Facebook Live, at the UN General Assembly, like he got lucky. I can assure you that even if there was an element of luck, he's done something to be in that space at that time. So we have to have a plan. And what is a plan? A plan is something that you put a time to, you put some measures that will help you gauge if you're moving ahead with it or not. Those are the kind of things we're talking about. Okay, my slide is jumping about a bit. Bear with me. Okay, seems my presentation mode is not working, so I'll just leave it like this. As business people who happen to be in this space now, I know there are some sacrifices you've made. For some of us as women, it means spending less time with our children. It means missing some PTA meetings, sleepless nights in between chores or caretaking or nurturing our mothers, our fathers, you know, all the responsibilities that come with being a female in a family. we still have to contend with that. Those are real sacrifices. And when we talk about habits, we talk about being accountable with your finances. So for example, do you have a bookkeeping software that you use, or do you do it manually? And how diligent are you with making sure that at a certain time, your procedures and policies are updated? Those are the kind of habits that we're talking about. Speaking of people and places, nobody becomes successful alone. As humans, we were not designed to live life in isolation. We were designed to function as a community. So if before now you've been trying to succeed by yourself, you're not going to go very far. You need people, and not just any people, the right people to hold your hand. These are people like your mentors. And when we say mentors, there is an assumption that there are people you see physically all the time. No. For example, Oprah Winfrey is a personal mentor to me. I've never met her in person, but I've met her through her books. I've met her through her shows. I've met her through the insights that she shares across the space that she occupies. Mel Robbins is one of my greatest mentors. I like what I look at what she has done to get to where she has with people that you see physically or interact with. But I need you as business people to identify a business person or business people whose track record you like, whose track record you want to replicate in your own business, and start to see their footprints. What did they do? What was their process? How did they get there? If they have biographies or autobiographies, put your hands on them, read them, make notes. The thing is, people don't appreciate the amount of work that goes into entrepreneurship, but you do. That's why you're here. And I praise you. I praise you for that. And it is my belief that at the end of this presentation, you would have picked up one or two things to help you improve your journey. So those are habits, sacrifices, people, and places that contribute to the process. When we talk about places, you're more likely to be disciplined with your time and how you spend your time. So there are some places other people might be found that you will not be found, or there are some opportunities in certain places that you need to take advantage of. For instance, this forum where you are now, it is a place. Thank God for technology. Places can be virtual. I'm seated in my office and I am with you right here, right now. This is a place. So learning to take advantage of places, virtual or physical, to enrich your knowledge, your networks, and your ability to expand and consolidate your business is one of the habits that will take you forward as an entrepreneur. I want us to reflect honestly and consider this question. If I continue to live my life exactly the way I'm living now, what opportunities? Sorry, my network just blipped. I'll take that again. I want us to reflect honestly and consider this question. If I continue to live my life exactly the way I'm living now, what opportunities will I be ready to take on? Who will I be attractive to? What areas will I have grown in? And how much more revenue will I be generating in my business? So what this question does is to help you honestly frame your mind around your process. Where am I now? If I continue to, transact and carry out business exactly the way I'm doing now, what investors can I attract in 2024, in 2025? What about my business will be outstanding to get a feature on New York Stock Exchange? Even personally, who will I be attractive to? Because when I talk to business women, I don't limit it to your business. You are a whole person. Your business is an expression of your life, your excellence, how happy you are, how satisfied you are. So for instance, if you walk into a room the way you are now, the way you carry yourself now, would you be able to strike and hold a conversation with, for instance, Dangote, for instance, Tony Elumelu, for instance, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, would you be able to say something to them about your business that will pique their interest or want them to put their money in your business? Because part of strategic planning is honestly assessing where you are now. That is the starting point of any strategic plan. So I encourage you, if you don't take anything away from this, take that away. You need to sit down and do that assessment. Anyway, cheer up. We're here to learn some strategies for you to optimize, level up, and live your best life starting now. Are we together? Can I see some responses in the chat? Let me quickly look at our chat. Oh, yes. Okay, so Deborah says, I can. Fantastic. So you're in the right space. Okay, so if you have any response, just drop it in the chat and I will. Okay, and I'll be taking our time to look at them so that I can give you feedback as well. So it's interactive despite the fact that it's virtual. We're here. Okay, I'm moving on to the next slide. Okay. This is usually, if it was a physical class we're having or session, I should call it, this is usually the most fun part for me as a facilitator, where we start by defining what career or business success means to each and every one of us. Okay, for some people, it looks like a 9-to-5 that pays you a certain amount. So that is tied to your income or a sector where you get a job. For instance, myself, for a very long time, I wanted to work in the development sector. And I'm very excited that I am there now. For me, it wasn't so much about the salary cap at the time because I was still going to earn through my law practice, but I wanted a foot on the ladder in international development. So it could be something in that line for you. For some other person, it could be having your company listed on the New York Stock Exchange. That might be the ultimate definition of success for you. Other people, it might be making a career out of your passion, like jewelry making, you know, bespoke shoes, all sorts of things, a flower shop. You know, making a career out of your passion can be very fulfilling. And for some people, seeing it making impact in lives positively on top of that is like, oh, they've hit the spot with success. For someone else, it might be that they have a seat on the board of several companies. For somebody else, it might be having regular passive income that allows them to retire early. The point I'm trying to make from this is that your definition and my definition of success will not be the same. Even if some parts of it may look alike, it will not be entirely the same. So I encourage you, my dear women on this call, on this chat, in this group session, sit with yourself and define what success is to you. It's a very personalized thing. For some of us growing up, we were pressured to think, oh, success was one way. I like to make people laugh about this. For us women, we thought the ultimate success was being married and having children. It is a beautiful thing, but that is not the ultimate success for each woman. It might be for some, but there's nothing wrong if that isn't your success. And the truth is, it's very, very personal. Just as you look at your palm, it looks different to mine. There's some lines that might be, you know, like similar, but each to his own definition of success. I hope that is really clear. Your success is as you define it to be. There is no universal standard of what success is. One of my favorite quotes on this, though, is from, I dare not call her by name. I call her Mama Maya Angelou, one of the greatest Black women that has walked the face of this earth. And she said, success is liking what you do, how you do it, and how it makes you feel. I might not have quoted it directly exactly, but it's back to you. You have to like what you do, how you do it, and how it makes you feel. If you Google it, it will come up. So each and every one of us needs to sit back, because ultimately I can look at someone's life and say, oh, her life is not a success. But the truth is that person might be living their ultimate best life. Because guess what? It's a personalized definition. It's a personalized satisfaction. So please, 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 if you're taking notes, make a note to sit with yourself afterwards and write what success looks like to you, what success means to you. And as you grow, as you evolve, there'll be more things you want to add to it. But let today be the start of that template that you keep for yourself, because ultimately it is your life. Next slide. Okay, now we're going to get a bit technical, but trust me, I'm going to make it as relatable as it is. So the title of this one is, what is a strategy and why do I need one? By definition, widely accepted, a strategy is a plan of action designed to achieve a long-term or overall aim. That's the Cambridge Dictionary. I'm sure most of us used the Oxford when we were in school back then, Oxford Learner's Dictionary. So this is Cambridge, it's quite simple. It says a strategy is a plan of action designed to achieve a long-term or overall aim. So in my own simple words, I've put down data. A strategy answers the question, how? So for instance, if I want to visit Singapore next summer, I need to figure out how to get to Singapore. And in the how, it will involve some research, right? Into the travel documents required. Do I need a visa before I travel? Or do I get a visa on arrival? And then I have to also find out what airlines fly to Singapore. And I have to do an analysis of the different rates. If Qatar Air and Emirates and who else, Delta Airlines go, I might want to find out which is value for money. So these things I am talking about are part of the how I will get to Singapore next summer. So for that for me is strategy. Is answering the how of that goal that you want. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I hope that is as simple as I think it is. And strategy is meant to give direction to the things that an organization does. I'll take that again so it sinks in. A strategy is meant to give direction to the things that an organization does. For instance, let me use the example of brand visibility. It's a buzzword in the business space now. Every brand wants to be visible. Every brand should be visible. But your organizational strategy, yeah, will determine the direction you take. Is your audience on LinkedIn? Is your audience on Facebook, Instagram? I hear Twitter is now called something else. Is it X? So I'm sure I have a much younger audience who would know the recent name of Twitter, which has changed. You know, so your strategy will decide your direction. Where is my audience? Where, oh, is X. Thank you very much. I have a very interactive class. Your organizational strategy will determine where you find your audience, your markets, people who engage with the value that you put out, because every business person seated here in this room is creating value. You're putting out value in the world. But if you don't have an organizational strategy, you're going to be all over the place. You're not going to be directing that value to where you get the most return on your investment or the most impact from what you're putting out there. I hope you're getting the idea of why you should have a strategy before we move on into the nitty-gritty of it. Yeah. So organizations would just engage in uncoordinated, fragmented, and possibly counterproductive actions without a strategy. So for instance, you go and hire a social media marketer to generate revenue on your services as a floral shop. You might be successful, you might not be successful. But the most important thing is knowing which social media marketer you hired. If you're targeting a high-end audience, which you should if you have a flower shop, because flowers are not considered basic, they are luxury goods. So you should target a high net worth social marketer that has access to those networks of people who can afford your products and services. But you're not going to have that if you don't have your strategy written down. I'm a Christian, and the book of Habakkuk says, write the vision and make it plain. So that is strategy. You will write it, you will make it plain, so you can have a roadmap to get to your destination. Are we together? Thank you for the comment. So Twitter is now X. Yay! See, I have current people in my class. So we'll move on to the next slide. If we were in a physical class, I would usually take questions in between, but I believe we can do questions afterwards. Okay. So this is the widely accepted strategy chart. And we'll take it from the top. Define your vision. In defining your vision, you have to have answered the question, what success looks like to you, right? So remember I said that's one exercise that you have to do. Define your vision as an organization, your vision as a person. Because guess what? Your business is a reflection of who you are, your value system, your goals, how you show up in the world. So you need to really sit back and do that assignment. What is success to me? Okay? In defining your vision, don't hold back. Go big, go loud, go extreme. Because the truth is, it would amaze you how quickly you reach a goal when you have a roadmap, when you have a strategy. So I say to people, especially women, we like to curtail our dreams. We like to curtail our ambition in business. No, don't hold back. Go as far as you can. See, as far as your mind can take you, write it down, define it. And after you have done that, then you need to assess where you are. Remember, I asked at the beginning, if I continue to transact business the way I am now, what investor would I be attracted to in 2024, 2025, moving forward like that? So you have to take stock honestly for yourself before you can move forward with this. In assessing where you are, there are a few questions you can ask yourself. If you're a business who has a software for tracking your expenses, your income, like QuickBooks, it'll probably be easier for you to assess where you are. But if you've been operating manually, it might be more daunting and challenging, however, very possible to do. You look at your books, you look at your cash flow, your income, your expenditure, your recurring expenses, like your staff cost, electricity, power. You know, there are people who can guide you through. I don't know if this forum provides for like peer mentoring, where you can connect with people who already have that figured out to support you, to hold your hand. It's not very complicated. If you've been in business for a while and you've not been very coordinated, you can have a cutoff mark. You can say, okay, I'll assess based on the last 5 years. So it's not overwhelming, but you must assess where you are to be able to create a strategy that will work. Okay, moving on, you have to determine your priorities and objectives. So when we define the vision, I said, go big, go loud, go far. Having done that and assessed where you are, now you have to narrow down your priorities and objectives. I'll give an example. For instance, you need to sort out your HR, your human resources issues. If you do not have a tidy HR process, you do not hire the right people, you're likely going to struggle to move on to the bigger things. So on a scale of things, I say to people that getting your processes in order are very important. I can't see my slides anymore, or I don't know if other participants can. Can someone look into that for us? We're talking about determining your priorities and objectives.
Okay, I'll look into it and get back. It should be back up soon. Okay, it's back now.
No problem. No problem. Thank you for that. Are we together? Can I see some responses in the chat so I know that we're not all asleep? Yeah, so in determining your priorities and objectives, I say to most people I consult for that there are certain things. Oh, thank you very much, Linda Joseph. Thank you for that feedback. So there are certain things, thank you, Modupe. You've been very active. Thank you, guys. There are certain things that you should, as of necessity, prioritize. Do you have a registered business? Yeah. Do you have a business account? Do you have an SOP, standard operating procedures? What are your policy manuals like? Are they updated? Do they reflect? Thank you, Dorothy. Do they reflect the state of business currently? Because you cannot be operating with an SOP of 2020 now. You must have updated it because COVID threw us into another dimension of operations. So you have to have a virtual angle to how you see and receive things. If you haven't updated your policies post-COVID, I would advise strongly that you do. And if you don't have one yet, this is a good time to put one together. There's so many resources out there tailored to each sector of business. Leverage on resources. And if you need help, I hope and believe that this forum will be able to create some peer mentoring avenues for you to synergize and tap into the wealth of experience that other business people in this space can offer. And if you have to pay for services, by all means pay for them, because guess what? If you pay for services, the service provider is accountable to you. I know our Nigerian situation can be peculiar, where you pay for a service and you're not even assured of it. So what I advise is let someone who's done it before recommend a service provider. I'm very high on recommendation. That means this person has delivered on this same task to someone else. That way, you're more assured of a positive outcome from that relationship. So if you have to pay for services, don't hold back, negotiate wisely, and make sure you ask for all that you expect from a service provider. Don't hold back and don't assume. Speak out your assumptions and let it be written down. Have a basic contract of engagement with them so that each person knows who's responsible for what, who's accountable for what, who should be consulted, and who should be informed. In project management, we call it a RACI chart, not to complicate your mind, but know who's responsible for what task, yeah, who's accountable for, who you should consult, and who you should inform. Like I said, nobody becomes successful in isolation. So build the right kind of community that will hold you accountable and you can grow together. I've already moved on to defining responsibilities already. So defining responsibilities is like the RACI chart I said. Who does what? Who's accountable for this? Whose duties are these? Have it clearly stated. And this is where having processes helps. Because if you have a contract of employment, a contract of engagement, it should be very clear what that contract is for, what they're employed for, what the deliverables are, what the timelines are for that job to be done, and the standard to which it should be done. I noticed that when I review contracts for most SMEs, they have not stated the standard to which they expect their employees to work. And that is, in fact, it's an error. Let it not be that case with your business. If you have to engage a vendor, contracted staff, whatever it is, make sure that you have the standard, expected standard of work clearly stated with timelines, with the payments and everything. So it's tidy because these things come back to bite you as a business. Maybe you still see yourself at the basic stage of operation, but one day you go blow, let somebody not go and dig out one contract and come and hold you by the neck. You know, always have a time, close up the contracts with time. At the end of, don't say at the end of, on August 31st, 2023, the contract is deemed terminated. Okay, somebody, the MEC is asking, can you, oh, let me go to the chat so I can answer her question. Okay. Okay, I'm in the chat now. The MEC says, can you give an example of what stating standards means? If you say do an excellent work, excellence is subjective, fantastic. So the standard I'm saying is for example, let me say, I would have asked, Yemisi, can you tell me what sector of business you're in so I can be very specific for you, because I can think of a few to my head, off the top of my head. Okay, you're in fintech. Okay, so basically for fintech, I'm not an expert in fintech, but what I would assume a standard would be for fintech would be, fintech, are they the ones that deliver software and things like that, or payment portals? So probably a standard would be that whatever you create has been tested and meets maybe an ISO standard if there is in your sector. Yeah. So don't leave it loose. So whatever product they deliver should meet the ISO standard of so. If they're delivering furniture, make sure that the appearance of it is suitable and it's sturdy to the feel when inspected. You know, things like that, things as specific as that. And what it does for the service provider is that, or the product designer, is that they know that this person is not going to settle for less. So by the time you have that kind of clearly stated requirements, they are more likely to take their time and be careful about what product or service they deliver to you. But when they look through the agreement, even if it's something that you talk about verbally, by the time you put it out there in the conversation that, okay, I'm expecting that this product you design will meet the ISO regulations, so, they'll be like, oh, okay, all right. So this person is not looking for the average. This person wants the best out of it. So I hope that communicates how specific standards should be per industry, per service area. Yeah, Missy, thank you for that question. Yeah. We've talked about defining responsibilities. It shouldn't be woolly, where nobody knows who's doing what, so you cannot hold a particular person accountable for anything. You see that a lot in organizations where people's roles overlap. So this person goes like, oh, I thought it was Miss B that was supposed to be handling logistics. My own is procurement, because when they were hired, you probably give them the impression that anybody that can do it should do it. You cannot be successful in that manner of operations. Your operations have to be intact, where everybody knows what they are coming to work for. Everybody knows what they're supposed to deliver at the end of the month. And that moves us to measure and evaluate results. How many of us here do staff appraisal? I'm assuming that some of us do hire staff. How many of us measure staff appraisal? If you're a garment factory of some sort, how many of you do quality control? Thank you, Yemisi says I do. Quality control on your products before they go out. Because if you're offering, oh, fantastic, we do weekly and quarterly, that's fantastic. Yemisi of fintech, weekly and quarterly, that's amazing. I'm excited. We have some serious-minded people here. If you are not measuring and evaluating results, you cannot grow. Okay, Gertrude Basharon says, I do quality control is very essential. And let me tell you, that's the trick. As women, when we do businesses, our outcomes are usually better because naturally we have that instinct. Modupe staffing month appraisal. Wow. Okay, we do at every production batch of our products. Aisha Suleiman. Oh, I'm so excited. My participants are people who are serious about business. And as women, that quality control, that measuring and evaluation is a natural instinct. Tap into it. Okay, for example, your sister is going to school, say, come, let me look at your hair. Oh yeah, take brush your hair. That's quality control. That's an evaluation. Or you come back from school, you don't look too happy. What happened? It's a natural instinct. I appraise myself to fantastic Princess Odiaka. That's amazing. Because as a business leader, you should appraise yourself. And it is a natural instinct for women. Tap into it. Don't let anything make you lazy about your outcomes, because the direct representation of your brand, it's a direct influence on how far you can go, how far your products can go, who you're visible to, who you're attractive to. So thank you so much for that feedback on your measuring and evaluating. And the good thing about business now is a lot of people have gone through the work of standardizing the approaches that we take. So by all means, leverage on these materials, leverage on these resources. I'm sure there are some places you go and type up, how do I measure and evaluate my, let me say, my food business monthly, quarterly, and ideas will pop up. So leverage on what we have available right now. I'll move on to the next slide. And while I ask for the next slides, how many more minutes do I have?
Sorry, you have about 30 minutes left.
Fantastic, 30 minutes. Okay, I'll try and rush through so I can take questions, but I like that the questions are coming and comments are coming in. Okay, Princess Odiaka says sentiments can be deceptive too, especially when doing customer feedback. Yeah, there have to be more objective ways of getting feedback. There's so many resources out there that we can leverage, but certainly you must evaluate, you must get the feedback. And not all negative feedback is bad. Some are meant to make you improve or fine-tune your processes. And somebody said quality control is a natural part of production. Fantastic. So now we're in the very interesting part. How do we get there? I like to divide it into 3 pillars: yourself, others, and processes. I like one of the participants said, that she evaluates herself. Very important. That's one of the pillars to getting there, yourself. So as a business owner, someone who leads an organization, and someone who leads herself, her family, her community, how self-aware are you? Thank you very much, Princess, for that feedback. I'm grateful that you're here to listen. Self-awareness is a pillar for success. What triggers you? What provokes you? What spikes your creativity? What motivates you? These are all aspects of self-awareness. Self-awareness is an aspect of emotional intelligence, which on its own is an area of learning. So if I have any entrepreneurs in this room who have not done an emotional intelligence course, be it physical or virtual, I highly recommend it. You will be so grateful that you did, because going into business, you might not even have been clear about your motivations as an individual who is creating a business. When you do the emotional intelligence course, you're going to be the richer for it. So I highly recommend it. Make a note of it. There's so many resources on it online, free courses you can take, but have a notebook dedicated to it. It will be like a personal Bible to you. You'll thank the organizers of this program later. So moving on, if you're not aware of what motivates you, what makes you, you, what makes Yemisi, Yemisi, what makes Aisha, Aisha, what makes Faith, Faith, you're going to miss the mark along the way, because you start to copy other people's approaches, you copy their styles, just because it's working for them. I'm not saying that there are no tried and tested methodologies out there. Certainly, like I said, some people have rigorously researched it and standardized things. But the truth is, there's a personal touch to everything that we do, because we're very unique. So you need to take our time and become self-aware. Don't operate from your feelings. We men, we're sentimental beings. Don't operate from your feelings. I'll break it down. Tap into what you need to do. So for instance, you have a staff who's been underperforming for a period of time, which you found during your appraisal. You've tried to support them, you've tried to build capacity, you've empathized. But you see that this person is affecting your bottom line. Your return on investment will be better without that person on your team. What do you do? I'm quiet for a reason, because this is usually a stronghold for us as women. We're feeling beings, we're nurturers, we're life givers. So we struggle with severing relationships that no longer serve us personally or in business. So I encourage you to build that muscle where you operate from a place of, okay, this is what I need to do. I see this person, I empathize with them, I kind of see their struggle, but I have tried to move them forward. Right now, for my business to grow, I need to do this. Let me even take it more personally. Exercising. Exercising is not fun. I don't feel like waking up and even doing basic stretches. Who's with me on this table? But I need to exercise. I need to build my physical muscles to carry me through life, to help me show up as a fit and well version of myself, not necessarily because I want to be skinny. No, but my heart needs to beat well. For instance, I don't like to eat salads. Some people do, and I'm really happy for you, but it's not me. So I psych myself. I say, madam, eat this thing. Oh. It's good for you. You need to eat this thing. It will help your body. So those are just basic examples of things that we struggle with that we know are good for us. So take this attitude into your business, and you see how even the littlest things start to add up. Remember, we already have a vision. We have assessed where we are. We have now narrowed down our priorities and objectives. And in line with that, we now do what we need to do. I hope you're following me. This is a journey. Cultivate good habits that make you efficient. We spoke about habits earlier. Discipline will keep you going. It's discipline that gives you sustainable growth. The discipline to do your bookkeeping, the discipline to cut off things that are not adding up to your bottom line, the discipline to network strategically. In fact, discipline is everything. You know, when we raise our kids or our siblings or members of our community, we try to instill that discipline in them. It's the same discipline we need to become successful in our careers and businesses. So that's another thing that comes naturally to us as women. So we need to tap into that. And as an individual, you need to take stock periodically. This is your own personal monitoring, measurement, and evaluation. So for instance, you had a personal goal to work on your attitude to people, for instance. After 3 months, you should say to yourself, oh, have I become more patient? Okay, am I able to empathize better? Am I able to enforce boundaries for my well-being? Oh, Matob's Foods is giving a feedback on some peculiarities to their sector. Thank you for that feedback. So you need to take stock periodically of yourself. So as you set goals for your business, set goals for yourself. Because ultimately, entrepreneurship should make you the best version of yourself. But often we find that people lose themselves in the process because you have not prioritized self as a pillar. I'll move on to others as a pillar. Pursue relationships that hold you accountable. Mentors, peers, managers. So for some people, it's their family. But if as a business owner, as an individual, living life, there's nobody that you're accountable to, me, I'll run away from you. I will. Because everybody has to have someone they're accountable to. Some people say, oh, I'm accountable to God. Yes, that is the supernatural. But in this natural realm, there has to be somebody you're accountable to, somebody that you have regular calls with, and the person asks you, what was your bottom line this quarter? Why did it go down? Have you identified the reason? So what are your strategies to plug in? There must be somebody that is in that place for you. Some people hire business mentors, business coaches. Some people, have different structures for this, but there must be somebody that you're accountable to as a business owner. Pursue relationships that hold you accountable is very important. Very, very important. If not, you'll just be going in any direction. After all, nobody's coming to ask you questions. I own my own business. Madam, slow down. Yeah. The second point, engage people who have done things you want to do. I think I spoke about that. To save time, I will not repeat myself. Nurture relationships in the different areas of your life. So there are different dimensions of well-being. There are 8 accepted dimensions of well-being. I might not remember all off the top of my head, but social, emotional, physical, intellectual, spiritual, financial, that's 6. There are 2 others. I'm not coming to the environmental, 7. There's an 8th one. So if you look up the dimensions of well-being, create that chart for yourself. It's not complicated. And identify people that can help you in those areas. They are not going to do the work for you. Nobody is coming to save you. You're going to primarily do the work yourself. But these are people that you see that, in their intellectual well-being, they are doing well. Oh yeah, I'll put her name, Osaze. This person in their financial well-being, they're doing well. So pinpoint those people, put them there, even if you're going to observe them from a distance before you come closer, because you have to build yourself a bit. Nobody is going to carry you as a luggage or baggage. So start your work and then people can come alongside you. That way it's not a burdensome relationship. Okay, I'll move on to processes. Like I said, some people have rigorously researched and standardized processes for us to follow. We're living in one of the most interesting times in the world where information is accessible, knowledge sharing has become normal. So some of the processes that you have to have is to have SMART goals. We'll move on to that later. Create structures in your business. We've spoken to that. Energy or time management. You cannot be all over the place. You have a business, an empire to build. So manage your energy and your time. And for women, I particularly say here that anything you can delegate, please, by all means, delegate so that you can put the most of yourself and your energy into doing things that only you can do. If God has blessed you to the point where you can outsource most of your chores, outsource it. Then use your time and energy to be creative into creating new product lines, into deciding better logistics for distributing your products globally, meeting up networking events, stuff like that. I say that to women a lot. Part of your process as a business owner should be health checks. You should have yearly health checks. Go and check your body. How am I doing? Is my body ticking well? Because you have to be well. I put it under self, but I noticed that people don't prioritize a lot under self. So I moved it to processes. You have to check your health. Outsource technical roles. If you're struggling with bookkeeping, get an accountant, discuss a retainership fee that you pay monthly, and introduce them to other businesses as a way of reducing your costs. So for every business you introduce to them, you get a percentage off. Be very creative about cutting your costs, but definitely outsource technical roles. Like these days, everybody's going on Google to draft contracts. Maybe when your contract has comma, Google will sort it out for you. So rather than cut corners in that way, negotiate good rates that you can cope with. A lot of professionals have empathy for small and medium enterprises because we see your future. We want you to grow. We want you to do well because it looks good on us too. So negotiate better rates, but definitely get an expert. I said subscribe to proven methodologies. I talked about these dimensions of well-being now. They're proven methodologies. Go there, use them. After this class, we can maybe drop a few more of those ideas, but I think there are enough in this slide to even hit the ground running. Establish a management framework. Do you have a board? Do you have trustees? What do people understand the organogram? Who reports to who? That's part of the accountability. That's part of the accountability. And if you don't have it as a process, you will struggle as a business. Next slide. In this slide, I said, always aim high, work hard, and care deeply about what you believe in. And when you stumble, keep faith. And when you're knocked down, get right back up and never listen to anyone who says you can't or shouldn't go on. That's Hillary Clinton. I always put it here because people underestimate the hard work of being an entrepreneur. If it was a physical space, this is the point where I say, shall we all get up and give ourselves and our neighbors a round of applause? The discipline, the sacrifice, the habits that make you choose to be an entrepreneur, no matter how you assess yourself, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I salute you. And you can keep doing it and you can get better at it. And you can create products and services that the world will need forever and ever. So whatever you're struggling with as an aspect of business at the moment, don't give up. Get up, dust yourself. Like tell yourself that now I'm setting strategic objectives. I am going to have SMART goals. I'm going to be self-aware. I'm going to have people and processes that will improve my business, that will make me attractive to investors. that will make me stand out as a business owner, and that will make me wholesome as a person. Next slide. I like to create a flow visually when I do the summary. The first thing I highlighted was writing. Write out what success looks like to you. Don't hold back in that your definition. If I go big, go loud, go far, that's what I say. So write it down, write the vision, make it plain so that anyone who sees it can run with it. I believe you're building businesses and organizations that will outlive you. That's why it's even all the more important to write it down. Look how great it will be when your great-grandchildren or whoever buys your business in the New York Stock Exchange goes back and says, wow, so this was it. This was a script that started this whole empire. Thank you. Moji said legacy. Yeah, that's it. That's it. You're building legacy here. It's beyond that product or service that you are offering. That's why you have to do it right. We moved on to planning. What skills do you need? Who do you need to partner with? What books do you need to read? You have to have a plan. Yeah, you have to have a plan. Like I said, I want to go to Singapore for summer next year. What is my how? Step by step, break it down. It's amazing how things look closer when you break it down. Design. Create a table with timelines using the SMART approach. I'm sure we've all had classes on SMART goals, so I'm not going to flog it. But S is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound with timelines. That's a whole other course. But I'm sure most business people here have had the opportunity to be taught on what SMART goals are. If not, look it up. There are even videos on YouTube, and just listen to the 5-minute class on setting SMART goals. Strategy. I said, note that strategies are open to adaptation and change when needed. Yeah, a strategy is not set in stone. And you see, that's why it's represented as a cycle, because it's iterative, it's ongoing, it's never ending. You keep going, you keep going. So allow your strategies to evolve. So when you take the steps and you see the outcomes, allow your strategy to evolve and continue to align them with your organizational goals. And the last one, I like to keep it as the last one, is launch. Yes, you must launch. Get started with the priority items. Remember our circle? It was the third item on the circle, setting your priorities and objectives out of your big vision and after assessing where you are. Get started with the priority items. Next slide. I'm sure the organizers will share my contact, Princess, but my email address is on the slide. And I said, thank you for listening to my thoughts on this important topic. And I'll add that I wish you all the best in building your legacy, in impacting our world positively, and in being awesome as a person. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is the end of my presentation, and we're open to taking more questions. Is the presenter still on? We're open to.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, the chat room is full. So would you help me speak out the questions from the chat? So
Yes, sure, no problem.
all right, thank you.
Please, if you have any questions, just put it in the group chat, and then I'll read it out for her to answer.
So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, if that's okay. Oh, it's Paul sharing his screen. Okay. So Paul, you can stop sharing your screen now. Thank you.
So please feel free to ask your questions or if you have any comments, please feel free to write them in the room chat. Thank you.
Hi everyone. I hope I can go ahead to ask my question. My name is Princess Odiaka.
Yeah, sure. Go
Founder.
ahead.
Thank you, Founder Trifinity Intelligence. First of all, let me say a very warm thank you to our facilitator today. For me, it's quite timely, especially because I had my official meeting yesterday with my peeps, and we spoke extensively about the need for having a legal advisor, and I'm happy. I'm going to be reaching out to you, Ma. So my question is this: this is a concern, and someone has also read that the issue of board of directors, board of the trustees, shareholding, the legalities around businesses, right? Especially when you not only concentrate on one service, it's kind of multiple, it kind of branches out. I use fintech as an example. Even though Yemi says in fintech, I believe that her services can cut across different sectors. Then it's broad. For me, I'm into gas as a service. I mean, cooking gas as a service. It can as well cut across because um, I have a package that is recyclable. So ours is not a steel cylinder, it's a recyclable canister. And so I'm also looking at people that use steel cylinders for various purposes. We can also serve them. So my question is this: how can someone go about having a legal binding that is as strong as anything, so that the issue of board of trustees, the issue of board of directors, the issue of selling shares, buying shares, something like that, you don't get yourself pinned to the wall, especially when you have people that wants to invest and they will tell you, you know what, we need so part of this amount of your company, to be able to invest, stuff like that. Because why I said that is this is very timely, especially when it comes to this kind of getting yourself prepared, getting your organization together, pulling the whole process together. So that slide that says how do we get there, it's very, very key for, in fact, I had to screenshot, it's very, very key for me. You get, because if you don't have a strong legal undertone, you might be swallowed, all because you want to grab all the big guys into your space. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's a very important question and something we see every day. So it's not peculiar to you, but I'm happy that you asked. So as a business, there are basic steps you can take to make your business strong. Start with the documentation. You're registered with CAC, I assume. After your registration, if you have a logo, trademark it. When you come up with ideas, patent it. And when investors come to you saying that they want a part of your business, it's because they see your future. Even if you're not seeing it, they see it. So you are viable. Your product or your service is viable. However, if you've not been keeping your books properly, you have no idea what your business is even worth. So you cannot even project. I know some people who put together a package for SMEs on these business structures, and they have quarterly and yearly valuations of your business with projections. Like there's a lot going on in that space. So if you reach out to me, I can put you in touch with those people, or I can provide their contacts to the organizers so they can corporately recommend you. There is the Abuja Enterprise Agency. If you're a business person, you haven't registered with AEA, you are at a loss, because all these registrations, they have in-house people that will do it for you at a rebate. The government is really trying to stimulate businesses, and they have a department for women. So write this down, Abuja Enterprise Agency. You see this question you asked, they have a desk that will give you answers, will give you contacts, which will be more cost effective for you than the private sector people who I know. So I'm sharing that tip free of charge to all my women here. Go and register with Abuja Enterprise Agency. If you're into export, register with the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. They'll help you get all your licenses and all the registration and paperwork to keep your products exported and in markets globally. So there's so many things, but if you don't come to places like this, you won't know. That's why I said that part of the ingredients for success is places. This is a place we are now. So I'm very excited that you asked. And these are some of the places I will signpost you to immediately. And you can be in touch with me for question and answer feedback. I like to really support women. So that's it for me from now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much. God bless you, ma.
Bless you too.
Thank you so much. So does anyone else have any comments or questions? I see in the chat box, many people are thanking you. Your session was very, very insightful. Even me
Oh, thank
that is
you.
trying to start an organization for myself, I really learned a lot. Thank you so much for your time coming last minute. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, Farida. Thank you all.
So any other questions? Mm, Any other questions? Anybody have questions? Please feel free. We have a bit of time left.
How many more minutes do we have? I can throw in a few more tips here and there.
Okay, we can add additional 5 minutes if you want to just add a few tips. Just do that for 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes, that's fine. I'm sure I can work with that. Thank you, Farida. So as women, I want to encourage us to network. For instance, if we go into a business meeting, in the first 2 minutes, you see the men, they're all over each other, sharing out their business cards, telling people what they do for living, what businesses they have established. For women, we just sit down, we're quiet, we just occupy seats and we're looking around. So I want to encourage all of us here today. Tell people what you do. Tell people the business you're engaged in because you're building a legacy. You have to be able to speak about it. So as a takeaway assignment for yourself, go and create your elevator pitch. And what I say to people in their physical classes, don't worry, it's not that hard. I'm Dangote. We meet in an elevator. We're going to the 4th floor from the ground floor. And he says, hello, madam, what do you do? What would you say? That is your elevator pitch. Because you know that the light is going from G1 to you're on the 3rd floor. What are the most interesting things about your business that you will tell Dangote? That's what you're supposed to think of when you have an elevator pitch. So when you go back, write it down. What is my elevator pitch? And when you find yourself in spaces with people, that should be an icebreaker. Hello, my name is Winifred. I am a lawyer by profession, but guess what? I like to help people show up as the best versions of themselves in this world. It could mean communication coaching, it could be business strategy planning, it could be corporate etiquette. It depends what your needs are. But if you need to optimize yourself in this life, I should be the woman you're talking to. So this is my most recent elevator pitch. Nobody hears that and does not raise an eyebrow. So when their eyebrows are going up, you know you've got it. So on this note, my wonderful ladies making impact in this world, this is it from me. And feel free to email me, reach out. Let's really support each other. I'll provide information to the organizers for the agencies I mentioned, and you have a lot of resources to lean into there. God bless you all. Over.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the tips. Yeah, elevator pitch is very important. Thank you, Yemisi, for dropping your the template for elevator pitch in the chat box. We really appreciate you. Thank you, Miss. So yes, thank you for today's session. We will definitely be contacting you for your email and other details so that we can keep in touch with you. Thank you so much. So without further ado, the session for today has come to an end, and it's our last session actually. So thank you so much. As I mentioned earlier, we would be having a one last free demo day for the final demo day for those that were unable to page. So please keep an eye out for the details for that. So thank you so much, everyone. If you haven't done the attendance, please do that before you log out. So once again, thank you so much to our facilitator for coming in last minute. We really appreciate you. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.